Mercedes are entering the Las Vegas GP on a sour note after the disaster in Brazil, and it seems like the Silver Arrows will continue with the downward trend once again in Vegas. Due to the nature of the track, as well as the newly discovered issues from the last race, the expectations have been lowered to a minimum from their team principal Wolff, who did not save any words when it comes to where his team would finish in the upcoming race. With this in mind, how will Mercedes' season turn out in the last two races? And more importantly, is this something that will poison their long-awaited start to the 2024 season? It goes without saying that Mercedes struggled a lot with different issues throughout the entire season, with consistency being the primary one. Be that as it may, the goals have been set clear for the remainder of the 2023 season. Finish second in the Constructors' Championship and maybe even take a dig at Perez's P2 spot in the Drivers' Championship as well, with the latter one sounding much more difficult than the former. Nonetheless, the Brazilian GP has offered a cold shower for Mercedes, as the team expected to have such a strong outlet here, which was shown through their optimistic views before the race. Hamilton and Wolff were both hopeful that they'd be fighting Verstappen for the win. And in the end, they got passed by an AlphaTauri during the sprint weekend and by Stroll, among some other drivers, during the main race event. And I'm talking about the Brazilian GP's woes yet again, because it seems like one of the primary issues that poised Mercedes' race there, the tyre degradation, is one that will repeat in the Las Vegas GP as well. This is something that has been acknowledged by Wolff, who believes that the most disastrous weekend the team just endured in the last 13 years of their existence does have a high chance of being repeated in Vegas. And when talking about this, the Austrian went on to say, "I'm not sure how we will do in Las Vegas. I will not rely on the simulations at the moment. There's an enormous effort that Liberty undertook with Las Vegas, and I think it's going to be a tremendous show for the audiences. For us, I don't know what to expect. You can see those swings you asked me in Mexico, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to Brazil, and this is going to be awesome. Now we're going to a track that we haven't been in even, so I don't know." The first practice session takes place on Thursday in the evening hours, and this is basically the first opportunity for the teams to gather any data related to the track whatsoever. So it's going to be a heck of a challenge for any team out there to tweak their cars to what's currently coming to them. And believe me when I say there is a lot coming. Low temperatures during the race, long main straights in which you will have zero to no chance to prepare your tyres for their optimal working window, and the DRS advantage here will be amplified due to the track having low downforce requirements. So the long straight sectors of the track will definitely provide us with a lot of overtaking action. However, the temperature in the midnight hours during the track is going to drop to 4 to 5 degrees, and that specifically does not aid Mercedes or any other team out there at all. Even Pirelli's head of F1, Mario Isola, said that the race was going to be a massive challenge for the teams out there, and when talking about this, he went on to elaborate, "It is a step into the unknown for everybody, I believe. Las Vegas will be cold. It's a street circuit. So we are working with the teams, and we asked them for simulations in advance to try to understand how much energy the layout of the aircraft is putting on tyres. We had information from the companies that are making the tarmac in order to understand how abrasive is the tarmac and which is the level of creep we can expect. But still, a lot of question marks are on Las Vegas." Why is this so important for Mercedes, you might ask? Mostly because the team already had issues understanding what was wrong with their car when everything was at their disposal. And now that they have such an unknown venue that they're visiting, it might as well result in either a surprising or a catastrophic result, because the inconsistency factor swings both ways when it comes to Mercedes. But from the little that is known about the track, low downforce requirements, long main straights, it's like Monza 2.0, and judging from approximate history, these tracks don't suit the W14 as much as we'd like them to. The good news for the team is that they've finally found out where the issue from Brazil lies, and after all of the emails that have been sent from James Allison and the public complaints from Wolff and Hamilton, along with the promises that the W15 will definitely be started from scratch, this is the bright spot that is keeping the F1 world alive. Elaborating on this even further, Wolff went on to say, "After promising performances in the US and Mexico, we didn't perform at our best in Brazil. We have been hard at work to identify the wrong turn we took with the setup. We have done that. We understand our mistakes and can explain our performance loss to the field. That's important as we look to secure P2 in the Constructors' Championship. In parallel, we've been preparing for the challenge of racing at a venue that is a complete unknown. We have prepared the best we can using the limited information we have, and there are some unique characteristics we can anticipate. This is something that has worried not just the Mercedes fans, but the F1 world as well. But with the track temperatures being so low on Saturday and the asphalt being brand new, meaning low grip for the tyres, there is still a lot of work to do in the Mercedes garage. What this effectively means is that the last 2 races of the calendar will be a survival mode for them. But regardless of what happens, Mercedes has one clear goal ahead of them, and that is winning the Constructors and Drivers' Championship as soon as they can, which would be 2024. Now, the question is whether or not they will be able to do so after the dominance that has been presented by Red Bull. The Austrian team won 19 out of the 20 races that have been held in 2023 so far, with Sainz being the only race winner outside of the duo that currently holds the first 2 spots in the Drivers' Championship. Nevertheless, shedding such a difference when being so behind in a season is something that is very hard to accomplish, and that has been brought up to question by many F1 experts and analysts, such as Damon Hill, the 1996 world champion, who wasn't even sure as to whether or not the team understood what was wrong with their car. Hill had said, "My anxiety is this, which is that for a long time Mercedes' dominance really was down to their power unit. They had the best power unit for a very long time, and the aerodynamics were always slightly different to Red Bull's. If you remember, towards the end of the previous Formula One regulations, they persisted with their relatively flat-looking rake on the car, whereas Red Bull was absolutely huge. They led the way, and everybody started following Red Bull with this very high rake. But Mercedes stuck persistently or doggedly with their concept. They looked like they were running a different aero concept on their car in the previous regulations, and then along come a new set of regulations. What I'm saying is the Mercedes aero department missing a trick here? They've lost quite a few good aero people to other teams as well over time. It is no secret that some of the high-profile staff from Mercedes have either taken a step back from the team or voyaged into new areas, with Vowles taking on the role of team principal in Williams, while Loic Serra embarked to make Ferrari a championship-winning team yet again from 2024 onwards. Mike Elliott's retirement has also hit the team hard, so be that as it may, the challenges that have risen ahead of Mercedes are definitely ones that they will have an extremely hard time figuring out, as many experts believe that the upcoming season is not going to be any different compared to what we are witnessing right now. With this in mind, do you think that Mercedes' Las Vegas chances are going to go in their favour? Let us know what you think in the comments below.